Okay, now it's Saturday, February 15th. Apparently I struck a nerve with that news guy or something like that. I don't know. I didn't do anything evil. All I did was, you know, post on the things that online that apparently my homeless story wasn't enough interest or something like that. And I don't know. I don't think he saw it or whatever. I don't know. That's the reason why. But I got a reply last night from, well, FYI, I haven't forgotten about you. Um, Apparently they're working on a story about this barber who helps homeless people, and he didn't want to run my story at the same time, but I will be on the news. So what I got from that was they didn't want to run my story too quick. I didn't expect it to be on overnight. It's not an emergency or anything like that. But again, it's like I mentioned, if you say you're going to help and shit like that, then fucking help, don't. I don't know what they're doing, but they're going to run this story about this barber who helps homeless people. So I guess he'll run that first. This way it can negate my story. This way that the public can say, well, why don't this guy go see him? Again, you have to explain this to people. Even the people that give out these I've said this, man. It's to the point, like I said yesterday, man, it's not worth getting the fuck up. And here I am. I woke up again today. Who do I thank for that? Thank you for another fucking miserable day. Thank you for allowing me another day to wake the fuck up, What the fuck? Yes, I guess I'll run that story first, and then people say, well, why don't he go see him? Why? What's he going to do? Give me a shave? How's that fucking help my situation? That's the perception. Well, we give out blankets or we volunteer. We give them. They're homeless. They're still on the fucking street. We're still on the fucking street. That's what they're not getting. You see somebody sleeping in a fucking parking lot and you bring them a blanket and shit like that. Yeah, that's a nice gesture for that person, keep them warm and shit like that. But god damn, it's not getting them off the fucking street. This is the point that cannot get across enough. This is the fucking point that cannot be made enough. I see it on these videos and shit like that, and this and this, and they talk about the cost it does. It's not that fucking big. Look at the fucking money we're sending to these countries. The fucking billions we're sending over there and shit like that. And the money that's pissed away in this country on stupid shit. There's money set aside specifically for this fucking situation. And it's being stolen. Yeah, I'm in a miserable fucking mood because, but yeah, I posted that video last night about the rain and shit like that. It hit me, I didn't know it was supposed to rain, but, you really can't get too much of it on the video of what it's like to try to sleep. But yeah, it was early, but sometimes I just need to go to sleep early. I wake up in the middle of the fucking night anyway. But yeah, when the rain beats down on the fucking roof and shit like that, it's another situation of living like this. 4:30 this morning, this car behind me, this guy and this girl are over there fucking arguing and shit like that, all fucking loud, and I don't know. Looks like they got a lot of shit in the car. I don't know if they're in the same situation. But, the whole fucking parking lot's empty. They park behind me. 4:30 in the morning. Whole fucking time arguing and shit like that, going on about shit. Screaming and yelling. It just brings bad attention. Then it eventually just ruins it for everybody. Because it seems this parking lot seems to be where people either, they crash for the night. I don't know if they're all homeless or shit, but I've seen people get up in the morning and they just leave out. That guy I mentioned that sleeps in his car all the time, I saw him. I was walking in this morning to get my coffee, and he was walking in. He's soaked. It wasn't that hot last night. Yeah, his shirt's all fucking wet, man. He's sweating all fucking night. So I don't know what's going on there, man. And somebody told me that one guy that comes here that sometimes brings, the guy with the girlfriend that I mentioned, he told me his story and shit like that, and apparently he's waiting on money or waiting on something, so he's waiting on, money. But yeah, you can't stress enough. When I did that video, and when people say, what is it like to be homeless, man, you can't keep explaining. This is the mentality you're dealing with, man. It's they hear homelessness and they say, well, I'll give them a blanket, or I'll give them I'll give them a bowl of soup or something like that, and they think they did something. Homelessness, homeless. Money is what's needed. And I know a lot of them don't want to give the money because, they'll just go buy dope, or they'll go get drunk or something like that. And I understand that's why they'd rather just buy. And I've heard stories even before, with people that would do that. They offer them something to eat and shit like that, and the homeless person get arrogant or shit like that. And, I don't know. But longer and longer in this country, man, it's getting worse. I say it all the fucking time. They talk about now that I'm seeing more and more now where technology, people are worried about losing their fucking jobs for technology and robots and shit like that. And I started thinking, man, if all this is coming and everything like that, what are people going to do 30 fucking years from now? When we have these self-driving this and self-driving that. The trucking industry's worried about it, because I got self-driving trucks. Because of hours and shit like that, drivers have to shut down. Where these trucks, they don't have to shut down for hours. I don't know if eventually nobody will have to be in the truck. They'll just do it remotely from a desktop somewhere. That's kind of fucking scary. I mean, I don't know how they're going to set it up. Some of these places, you back in. I guess a lot of these things is where you just easy spots. I mean, I've done truck driving over the road a good part of my life, and no computer is going to be able to back a semi into some of these fucking spots, get them down these fucking roads. I think most of it's just for wide open out in the Midwest, where it's wide area, there's not a lot of traffic and shit like that, and you just go from there. You don't, sometimes you drive out in the Midwest, you drive out in Montana, Wyoming, and places out there, man, you don't even see another fucking truck. Sometimes you drive, you'll drive across the entire state and you might see maybe one truck or something like that, and maybe one or two cars local, shit like that, and you're out there in the middle of fucking nowhere, It's nice out there, though. But yeah, back to this homelessness shit. Constantly gotta fucking explain this shit, man. What it is. That one video I talked about that I watched the other night about the poor surviving in America, how the poor surviving in America. The car's leaving finally. Good. Hope they don't come the fuck back. That's just bad attention here. That's just bad attention. Yeah, that video. They did a they think they're proving something with. They had this group that did a scenario where they were going to spend the weekend and see what it's like to be homeless. That's just mocking the situation, man. That's just goofing on fucking homeless people, man. You're not proving nothing, because the whole time in your back of your mind, like one woman in there, she didn't last a fucking night, and I could see it. She's talking this and this in the beginning, and what happened the next day? They wrote up these rules what you couldn't do. You couldn't panhandle, and you couldn't hit people up for food and shit like that. And shit's still on the fucking lid. Fuck. What I lid off and no, what are you gonna do? I look like shit today, man. I got my brand new boots on, and I got sweatpants and a fucking t-shirt on, looking ratty and everything like that. But I got the shoes are gonna stick out. Try to break these in. But yeah, this woman, they did this thing where they had him sleeping on this lot and shit like that, and they took him to a place where they bought where they took him to a shelter to get clothes and shit like that, to dress like us and shit. You just mocking. That's what I mean, you know? You just mock the fucking situation. These are the motherfuckers, every time you see them, you just want to bust them in the fucking mouth. Just for the sake of it. You're not helping nobody. You're not doing nothing. You're mocking the situation. The one woman, she didn't last a fucking night. They teamed her up with this other girl, and they're walking down the street, and they came across there was this outdoor cafe. Had a little guardrail in the front, shit like that, separated from the sidewalk. And the woman stopped, and she's like, should we ask them for something? And she showed the piece of paper. She goes, no, we're not allowed to do this and this and this. And they got to the park and shit. They got to this one park and shit like that. And the woman was like dry heaving, and you know, she was crying and sitting there crying. She goes, I can't do this. She called her husband. Her husband come pick her up and shit like that. And you know, off she went. You know, you're out there mocking us and shit like that, and this makes you fucking see what it's like to be fucking homeless, and you called your own man to come pick you up. Fuck you, you fucking cunt. Fuck you, you pig. You know? I hate shit like that, man. Even if I wasn't in this situation, I hate shit like that when they try to do something to see what it's like. Fuck you. See what it's like. You're mocking the situation is what you are. You're mocking the fucking situation. Fuck you people. Ain't doing shit to fucking help nobody. See what it's like to be homeless. Why? Why do you want to see what it's like to be homeless? I'll tell you what, empty your fucking savings. I'll tell you what, anybody that wants to know what it's like to be homeless, here's what you can do. What is homeless like? What is it like? I'll tell you what. Empty your fucking bank account. Go to my GoFundMe and donate it all to there. Donate it all to there. Everything, you know, whatever you got. And eventually when you can't pay, quit your fucking job. And then you'll see what it's like to be homeless. There's your fucking answer, okay? There's your fucking answer. Give up everything. Live that life like people say, well, money's not important. Wake up tomorrow or later on today when you wake up and say, you know what? Money's not important. Everything I have's not important. Fuck it. I'm going to give everything to this guy. I'm going to be fucking homeless. I want to see what it's like to be homeless. I'm going to live homeless for a fucking year. The fuck out of here. That's the kind of people you wish this shit on. You know? You mock the situation, you goof on the situation and shit like that. Then eventually you end up in that situation. You know? Hate shit like that. Always hated people like that. Laziness, too. Can't stand fucking laziness. Motherfuckers want the opportunity, and you give them the opportunity, and they're like, well, I can't do this, and well, you just took an opportunity away from somebody else. Like that bitch I mentioned in that store and everything like that. She telling somebody, well, I don't have to work, you know, I just do this to give me something. Well, if you don't have to fucking work, don't do it. Hell, I need a fucking job. Why don't you quit so I can get the fucking job, you pig? You know, fucking people like that. And they constantly got to let others know. You know, well, I don't have to work. They constantly got to let people know. I don't have to work. You know, it's some family business or something like that, or relative, or I don't know what the fuck it is. Caught bits and pieces. I try to focus on what I'm doing. Get out of my situation. But yeah, motherfuckers like that, man, you know. Quit the fucking job then. She's been there, I don't know, she's been there a long fucking time. Works part-time or something like that. I don't know what it is she fucking does. Really. I see her, every time I see her, she's in the fucking cafe. Or she I don't know. She was the one that a couple weeks ago was trying to sell those bags. Trying to talk to people and shit like that. Or I see her over in the customer service area. Yesterday I had a girl sitting in there, and the one girl from people in customer service, they give out assignments and shit like that. I don't know how it works. I guess they have some kind of supervision or something like that. Customer service people. There's like 100 of them that all in one shift or something like that over there. But there was a girl. They have this little register thing that's in the cafe area sometimes, and she was there, and I'm just gonna say, yeah, she's a black girl, and the white girl when the customer service came over, apparently they had a shopping cart of putaways that need returns or some kind of shit that need to be put away, and she's like, I don't want to do that. Fucking mosquitoes. I don't even have food anymore. I have it in here, but I'm not eating my Pop-Tarts anymore. But yeah, she came over and told her and she needs these done. And it wasn't lunchtime or anything like that. She's just standing there snacking on a bag of chips at the register. I guess they assigned her there somewhere. She just decided to go over there. And she's like, well, I need these put away. And she goes, I'm not doing that. And she started, well, if I don't want to do something, I'm not just going to do it. I'm sitting there listening to this. I'm like, is this really fucking happening? Is this really fucking happening? So I guess the girl that told her, I guess her sister works there, and I guess she's got more power or something like that. So she called for her, and she came over, and she's like telling her, and they're debating with her, and she's like, "What?" It's like I told you, if I don't want to do something, I'm not going to do it. She's over here telling me, it's your fucking job. I kid you not, I'm listening to this. I'm like, is this really fucking happening? And I'm looking at it, I'm like, well, yeah, this is really happening because, yeah, she can get away with this. She can get away with this. And I don't start attacking me about the race shit and everything like that because fuck you, okay? You weren't there, you didn't fucking see it, and I don't want to hear, well, I saw this. Stop, okay? Stop with the, well, I seen a white guy doing this. That's when the lack of intelligence comes in. Okay, I'm talking about my situation, and I'm sitting there listening to this, and finally this other person come over, and I'm saying, "Are you kidding me? They're debating with. Send the bitch home." She's like, "Yeah, I'm not a supervisor." You know, I'd have been like, "Look, if I got to do it, I don't fucking need you here. You might as well go to fuck home. You might as well go to fuck home." You know, I'm not gonna argue with you. You know, she got to put returns away. Or putting shit back on the shelf that was in the shopping cart. I guess they're returns or something. I don't know. I worked in retail a long time ago, and they used to call up people from our departments and shit like that for returns and shit like that and put it away. So then I guess the store manager, not the store manager, I guess is an assistant manager or some other kind of manager, and he's sitting there talking to her and everything like that. He goes, well, you know, and he's talking to her. And I'm sitting there, wow, this is the third fucking store manager come over and everything talking to her and shit like that. It wasn't the actual store manager. I guess he's assistant manager or maybe he's the department manager or something like that. But they're debating with her, and she's like, well, if I don't want to do something, why should I have to? I felt like saying, because it's your fucking job, you bitch. Wow. So they all walked away, and she's still standing there. I'm thinking, wow, this is unfucking real. This is where we're fucking at. This is where we're at. So finally the girl's sister came over, and she called her, she goes, can you come here? And she said, what is, if this is about this? And the cart sat there the whole time. There must have been 4 or 5 people that come over, all from customer service, telling her, wanting to know what's, just send the fucking bitch home. The one manager had said it. He goes, well, you know what? He goes, if I have employees that don't want to do something or anything like that, I might as well just send them home. I said, there you go. You might as well just send her the fuck home. Send her the fuck home. But I don't know what the fuck happened or anything like that, but, wow. Just outright told her, if I don't feel like fucking doing something, I don't want to do it and everything like that. And they're telling her, well, this ain't busy over here, so there's no reason for anybody to be standing over here. She goes, yeah, but I like standing over here. Unfucking real. This is where we're at, man. This is where the fuck we're at, you know. I don't feel like fucking doing shit, so I'm not gonna fucking do it. You can't say nothing to me. You can't send me home because I'll cry you're picking on me. I'll go to the fucking media. You're picking on me. I don't want to do a job, and everybody will come in and say, yeah, why make her do? Then that's when all the comments will come in, all the fucking stupidity and lack of intelligence comments will come in and say, yeah, well, she don't want to do something. Why make her do it? It's part of her fucking job, putting shit away. You know? Wow. And I'm the guy homeless. I'm the homeless motherfucker. I'm the one that can't get hired there. Because you're arguing with motherfuckers. I guess that's why employees don't... I don't know why employees ain't staying there, but they seem to be hurting for fucking help. But yeah, I wanted to share that. I couldn't fucking believe it. Debating with her. All these fucking people are coming over for customer service and shit like that, debating with her, coddling her and shit like. Send her. If it had been me, I'd have come over and said, "Well, what do you mean you're not going to do it?" Say, "Well, if I don't want to do," she's telling her, it's like, "I don't want to do something. I'm not going to do it." Okay, go home. I'll do it. I'll put it away. Even though I'm assistant manager or something like that, I'll put it away. Now I've got to do the job. I've got to put it away. So you might as well just go to fuck home. It's that simple. That blew me away, man. I'm sitting there looking at it. Look, I'm watching this and I'm listening to it. I'm thinking, wow, unreal. Yeah, I figured out the back to my website. I'm starting to get a lot of more views and shit like that. And apparently they have a score that they give you or some kind of shit like that, or shit like there's a way to see how many views and shit like that. I don't know where the views are. I haven't figured that out yet, but I'm slowly learning. Like I said, I'm not a web designer, so I'm picking away little by little, learn how to set mine up and shit like that. But the blog I wanted to put in, I wanted an interaction thing, and I mentioned that before. Contact customer service, find out how to do it, and there's videos and shit like that, and I saw a video and all it did was show me how to put the blog in. I'm thinking, well, yeah, okay, and how to put the blog in. I want to make it interactive. So I figured that out yesterday. And here's the kicker. What I have to do in order for people to comment on it and shit like that, or like if I post a blog, sort of like a Facebook post, and I want people to comment and shit on it, I have to go to this other site and set up an account with that. So it's all got to trickle down to that. So in order for me to do to allow comments and shit like that, I have to create an account with this other site to do that. I'm like, fuck, Jesus Christ, man. That's what I say, man. I put there's a financial page that I follow on Facebook, and they tell you how to prepare for and more I'm starting to see, it's about the recession. It's not if it's going to happen, it's when. And they post about saving money and shit like that, and I posted a comment on there. I said the best way to create wealth is to create a cash flow, is create something that takes advantage of others. And basically like, how you got ATM fees and fees in general, or like I just explained with that on how you want to set something up, fees and shit like that. Set up something like that where it's taking advantage of people. It's almost like a tow truck. You know how high they are. You're in a bad. You're broke down. Say it's Christmas, and you broke down somewhere. Well, it's Christmas. This guy's going to say, okay, well, it's going to be $70. Even if you break down, sure, you can call AAA and shit like that, or something like that, or call a relative maybe. But suppose they can't do it or something like that. Suppose you have to call a tow truck. He says, well, fee's going to be $70. Well, most people are going to be like, I don't care. I just need to get jumped and shit. Okay, well, there it is. There's your example of how to take advantage of people. That's the kind of shit you got to create, man. That's the society we're in. That's the mentality. That's the mentality we're in, man. You want cash flow? That's what you got to create. You may say it's harsh. You may say it's rude. You may say that's not the way we do things, and that's not the way I do things. That may not be the way you do things, but I'll tell you, you look at politicians, you look at all this fucking way, how people got money and shit like that. You create something. Not all of them, but it's sad that I have to put that in there, that disclaimer. Not all of them. But that's the mentality I'm up against. You got to create shit like that. Websites and shit like that are how money is generated. I started looking into ad things, but maybe I'll look into that chat thing today. See how that is, how that works. Interaction set up to where people can share their stories and see how that works, and go from there. Build on that website. Like I mentioned, there's a thing on there where it tells me the value of the website if I were to list it for sale and shit like that. Right now it's not a lot, but I got to generate a lot, but it costs money, and like I said, I knew that it costs money to do that. I think most of it is the one thing that renews next month. I don't know exactly what I'm losing on that. I have to look into that today. to see what I think everything else, as far as the security and all other shit and everything that, and all the important shit, I think that most of it all expires in 2021, February of 2021, which I'm good until then. This new thing, if I were to renew it and shit like that, it's like $25 a month, and right now my understanding of it is I can't add to it or something like that, or I can't if I want to do any work on the site or anything like that, I can't do it. But $25 a month, just if I want to upgrade something or do something like that, I don't know. I gotta look into it. Can't really look into it because I don't have the money to renew it anyway. But it gives me something to do. See what happens. But yeah, that news guy, I guess I struck a nerve with him or something like that. But he gonna post something about a barber. People are gonna look at that. It's like, well, yeah, this guy's, yeah, it's nice. And again, I say that all the time. And again, it's sad that I have to put this disclaimer in there all of the time about this. But it does not define what homelessness is. Churches, just because they volunteer and shit like that. I mean, all that shit's donated. And yeah, it's nice that they volunteer their time and shit like that to put meals out and shit like that. But it's not ending homelessness. It's not getting people off the street. That's how you do it. The goal is to get people off the fucking street, to get them into programs. If they have mental illness, or if they have disabilities, or this and this and this, get them into the right programs. Get them into this. Get them off the fucking street. That's the goal. Get them off the fucking street. You never hear about that though, man. You never hear about the housing. You hear about the hunger. You hear about the clothing. You hear about giving out the toiletries and shit like that. Simple things, shit that's donated. It doesn't cost these shelters a piss of money. It doesn't cost these fucking churches. It's all shit that's been donated. And, before anybody says, well, suppose they just stop doing that. Well, so what? What are they doing anyway? Giving toiletries out. Well, where the fuck? I got a big fucking bag of toiletries back there that church gave me on Thanksgiving. Shampoo and toothbrush and soap and all this other kind of shit. Where the fuck am I going to use it? Stand in the fucking parking lot in the fucking rain at 3 o'clock in the fucking morning in the cold and shower in the fucking parking lot? And then what am I going to do? How the fuck am I going to dry off? I got to get back in here all fucking soaking wet. What am I going to do with all that shit? Where the fuck am I going to use it? Hey, thanks for the toiletries and shit like that, but where the fuck am I going to use it? Where the fuck am I going to go get a shower? Get cleaned the fuck up? You didn't fucking help me giving me that. That doesn't do anything for me. Get me off the fucking street. That helps me. I don't want to do that. We don't mind giving you shit that's been donated to us because that doesn't cost us anything. But getting you in housing, nah, we're not gonna tap into the money that's been donated to us. Nah, we're not gonna use that. Even though that money's been donated for that purpose, nah, we're not gonna use that. Not gonna use that money. That's for our salary. Well, wait a minute, you volunteer. See, when you throw that at him, it catches him up and look, what? Goes back to that scene in the Fockers, where he looks into that hidden webcam. You go back to that site and everything. You catch him in that shit, What do you mean it goes to upkeep and shit like that? Everything's fucking donated. Shit in the shelters are donated. The buildings, they donate money. Like I said, the one that I was in, Publix was a big contributor to shit like that. They had volunteers from Publix would come in. And they would lay down the mulch and do shit like that. Little things like that are nice, But then they'd give tours, and they'd show, well, this is where we have this. This is where, it's like you're bringing the kids to the zoo or something like that. You're on display, getting that donation money and shit like that for the upkeep. The one woman, somebody told me her name and shit like that. I guess you can look her up on LinkedIn and shit like that. She's making $100,000 a year. The woman that runs it and shit like that. She's making 6 figures. That's where that fucking money's going. For her fucking, thinks she ain't doing shit. People might say, well, you don't know what she's doing. Don't know what she's doing elsewhere. She ain't doing shit for this. She ain't doing shit at this shelter, that's for sure. I know, because I live there. And it's not just not doing shit for me. I've said that. You know, I've talked about that in other videos. You know, she making 6 figures a fucking year. That's where that fucking money's going. Like I said, I mentioned before, too, the CEO of United Way. He's one of the highest paid motherfuckers in all of them. In all that kind of industry. That's where that money's going. Talked about all that, man. It's not about me. It's about the generalization. When I start talking about shit like that, I'm talking in generalization of shit. Where that fucking money's going. And I'm seeing it more and more now coming up in the fucking news. Like I mentioned about Puerto Rico. And the storm victims here in Florida, when that one hit the north of the Panhandle and shit like that, still waiting on that money. They've been approved for it. Still waiting on that fucking money. Shit like that. So it's overall. Who monitors that shit? Thought that was the government that fucking monitored that shit. So we're some CEO for domestic violence or something like that. The governor of Florida is stepping in or something like that. This woman who ran this domestic violence company or something like that. I don't know if it's charitable or however, or anything like that, but she's making $700,000 a fucking year. And the reason he got involved and they started investigating was because of her paid leave and shit like that she gets. She gets over the last so many years or something like that. She's whopped up a total of $5 million in paid leave. And I guess that the people that are high up in the organization, you know, they're making a killing too. So this is where the fucking money's going. So next time somebody says, well, why don't this guy go here, here, here? This is why we don't go here, here, here. This is why we don't go there, there, there. Okay, this is why. They see that money coming in and they're like, yeah, jackpot, motherfucker. That's where the fucking money's going. They say it costs so much to fucking, for homelessness and shit like that. That's bullshit. A lot of that shit's fucking donated. Housing and shit like that costs fucking money. There you go. There's your answer right there. If they're saying the cost of housing is too much to end homelessness, and how the fuck is somebody gonna get off the fucking street on their own if housing costs too? There's your fucking answer. There's your fucking answer. I don't know what these people pull in here for. This fucking parking lot, people pull in and they just park. They just sit there. Guy's sitting over there, he just pulls in, rolls the window down. Sometimes I've seen people pull in and they'll get out, they'll smoke a cigarette and shit like that, and they'll get back in, drive off. I start seeing creepy shit like that, you know, just sitting here. I don't know, I get... Mind starts to fucking lose. But yeah, that last point, man, there's your fucking answer. That's why it costs so fucking much. They take advantage of it. That's why I said, man, you get into a situation where you just take advantage of people. Yeah, I mentioned in earlier videos, man, homeless people are just like illegal immigrants, man. Well, you want to get out of that situation, here's what we want to do. You know, we'll pay you $20 a day. Well, that's not going to get me out. Well, it don't matter. You want to make $20 a day? Here's the Joe. That's how it is. That's what they do. Take advantage of people. That's how you get wealthy in this country. Majority of it is. I started mentioning about the politicians. A lot of people start questioning that. How is it that you're making $139 or $140,000 or whatever they make a year and shit like that, and you're a billionaire? They say investments. Investments? Come on. Investments ain't even insured either. So they're, you know, they look at that, you know, a lot of these politicians. Here comes church people. They better not be coming over here. You want to hear my... I better go. Let me see what they're going to do. Looks like they got pamphlets. I'm going to tell them I'm homeless. I'll let you know later what they do.